Hey everyone, my name is Missy Albrecht. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and owner of Invincible out here in Denver, Colorado. And I wanted to take a few minutes here to chat about how I use doTERRA in my physical therapy practice, as well as how it's helped me with my business financially. So it has been, I have been working with doTERRA for about 4 years now. And I originally got started working with it because dealing with people with pain all the time, they're coming back to you taking medication that a lot of times that medication is actually limiting their ability to heal properly. So I was seeing, just like chronic issues, or I do a lot of work with visceral manipulation, so organ issues, because they were taking a lot of toxic medications. That seemed unnecessary, right? There should be a more natural way to manage some of this stuff. So I started playing with some of the stuff at the grocery store and learned very quickly that essential oils are not regulated, and that a lot of those different brands at the stores have a lot of fillers, synthetics, that I was potentially doing more harm and most likely not being effective, especially if it's just a fragrance. So did some research, found doTERRA, and was so happy with how they test their purity, the potency, and just what they're behind, what they stand for, how they want to help the countries that they distill and extract from, how they support them, how they want to build those relationships. So it was just kind of a fun side hobby as well, just being able to join a community like that. But originally I just started making these recovery blends for my patients that I would use in the office, also would sell for them to take home. Originally it was Deep Blue, Frankincense. We didn't have Copaiba at the time, but now I put Copaiba in that, Turmeric, Yarrow POM, marjoram, cypress, different oils like that to help with some of the pain, the discomfort, the swelling, help with some of the tissue support, and then Deep Blue. So another Deep Blue is definitely a daily thing for me, but I'll dive deeper into more of some of the stuff that I use. But that was the blend that really helped me see, wow, this is actually working, and I feel confident that what I am putting on them and what they're going home with is going to support their healing, not block the pain and create another issue. So I felt like I was supporting their organs as well, which is amazing. We want that. So, I kind of dove deeper into how I can help patients with sleep. Sleep is another one that I will recommend a lot of times, with the diffuser, bottom of the feet. I see a lot of patients with bloating, constipation, digestive issues. So I do a lot of use of DigestZen or peppermint if they're not a big fan of fennel. Those are some really, really good ones. Another one that I use a lot is the ClaryCalm. So helping hormone balance, PMS symptoms, menopause, fertility, that kind of stuff, really, really powerful, or just helping someone regulate their cycle. So that's another one. I do a lot of Copaiba on the abdomen, Copaiba or Frankincense, after a lot of visceral work that I do, because those oils are just so powerful, especially Copaiba with the digestive system and liver. And what I'll usually do is I'll either have a spray, or I'll put a drop in my hand and then put fractionated coconut oil, so I'm not using rollers and all that stuff, just to keep things clean. So those are really awesome. I will do, with the organ work, I will do some emotional work as well. So our organs can be excess emotional reservoirs, and so I will use the aromatherapy line as I'm doing that work. And I'll just have them smell. I won't even tell them what the name of it is, because sometimes I feel like they choose it because it says peace or console. I just like to have them smell it, and I give them two, and they pick one, and then I'll tell them what the name of the blend is. But I will have them breathe that deeply while I'm doing some of the emotional work. I will also put it on the organ that we're working on, that kind of thing. And then also recommend taking those home. I have the 5 ml bottles and the rollers available in my office. And then the other one is I have a diffuser going in my room. You can't see it, it's behind my iPad. But I always have a diffuser going in my room. I don't typically diffuse a very potent scent in it, just in case someone happens to come in and is very sensitive. But because they're clean, pure essential oils, people don't usually have an issue. I love diffusing Adaptiv to help keep me calm, keep my patients calm, keep everyone grounded. Balance is another good one. OnGuard, I'll kind of sneak into the blends because I do find that to be a little bit more of like a potent scent. I don't have a very large room, so the scent just kind of builds up kind of quickly. I do clean my table with a mix of OnGuard concentrate cleaner and water. Sometimes I'll add some different scents just for a different smell, but I feel like that helps boost immunity, keep the table clean, keep us all away from, you know, Clorox and that kind of stuff. So that's a really nice one. Back to the diffuser though. So the diffuser I keep going all the time in my room, and it's just a nice way to affect those who maybe aren't as open to using them. So I always ask if I can put an oil on a patient, and obviously you build relationships with them and you start to learn who likes them and who doesn't. I don't think I've ever had anyone say no, but I just feel like it's a nice thing to ask, right? And if it's turmeric that I really want to put on them, I ask, like, do you want to smell this first to make sure you're okay with the scent? And I think they really appreciate that. I have found that I get this question a lot if I have like different blends for sale. And I know I started off with my business having the recovery blend. I feel like people don't buy the pre-made blends as much as not the pre-made. They don't buy the blends that I make as much as they buy just what doTERRA has to offer. Maybe they want to make their own blends or use it in a diffuser as well, or in the bathtub, that kind of stuff. So I have two sitting here. I have one for sleep, one for muscles and joints, and I actually have a third one up here for adrenal support. But those I still use the oils with patients, but they don't necessarily sell a ton per se. And I will say that as I'm talking to patients about how they can get the oils, I don't have a ton of retail on hand because I would prefer to send them to someone on my team to guide them through that process. So in the beginning, I used to do it all myself, but what I found was I actually found people were signing up because almost like white coat syndrome, because I said so, and then I found out later that they didn't really love them or they just weren't really interested. And I don't want that. I don't want commission from a sale just because someone purchased because I said so. So I really enjoy having that separation, so giving them that next step so that they can think about it. They don't feel bad about saying no to me. So I have 2 to 3 people on my team that I will refer them or connect them to, and they will then educate. This is how you can buy retail, this is how you can buy wholesale. And what's really cool about that too is I am no longer the go-to for ordering questions or promos or anything like that. It keeps our time together in the office to be more patient care. We still talk about oils, but it's not the back end stuff, because I don't like, patients are paying cash out of pocket, and I just want to give them the physical therapy focus and not hey, how do I log into my account? Something like that. So it's been nice keeping that separation. And I know I did a meeting with a bunch of other physical therapists in different states, and I think there's some different states legally that it's good to have that separation anyways, rather than the direct practitioner being the one to sign them up. So that's something to definitely look at in your practice to see if that is relevant to where you are. But what else? So those are the main reasons or ways that I use them in the office. If someone wants to buy, I have a system. If they want to just buy retail, then that's fine. I have some just sitting here on my shelf for them to purchase if they want it. I educate them how to use it. I have different resources through my team. Just try to keep it super simple, or if they want to dive in deep, they can. And then we can kind of go from there. But it's just been such an amazing, for me, I like to see about 5 to 6 patients a day. And, there's back-end stuff, admin, all of that to owning a business. But to be able to have a side thing where I can go teach an essential oils class, essential oils and organs, tie the oils in with my passion, and be able to help people in a different way has been really amazing. And I love doing that. It gives me a different environment where I can just speak a little bit more openly and be that resource for people who are joining me in those workshops. And the other thing I will say is I always, with my patients, we as a physical therapist we're not supposed to be recommending internal supplementation medication. Again, this varies state to state, but I steer away for the most part from any internal recommendation. I stick with topical and diffusing. And this is, just to stay within my scope of practice, but also I see a lot of patients who are already working with medical doctors. And I find that, when someone comes in to see you on a ton of medication, there's just so many benefits to the topical and aromatic. I find that once people kind of wind down on the medication or get that a little more settled, then they can dive more into the internal. But I find that other doctors appreciate when their patients aren't given this long list of internal stuff. So when I do refer to people on my team, I will just let them know that, like, hey, let's start with some diffusing, let's clean up their candles and that kind of stuff, or their cleaning products and topical, and dive deeper into the internal if they're really interested in it in that way. So lots of different options with that. But if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, drmissy@stayinvincible.com. And yeah, I hope that it would be awesome if everyone incorporated these into their clinic, because it's just been such a powerful tool to, you get people who are so stressed because they're injured. They can't do the sport that they normally can do. They have to miss a race. So it's so nice to give them calming things in the moment and just that hope as they're on this healing journey. You and I both know that they're not going to get there tomorrow. So how can we use these essential oils as tools to help support their journey? So it's pretty awesome. All right, have fun oiling the world, and let me know if you have any questions.